I think that this would be the real surprise of North Carolina's elections. If Josh Stein is able to pull anything more than a 5-point victory margin out, this would be a real landslide in North Carolina. If he's talking about potentially double digits, the effect on the ballot is what I'm going to be very interested in. North Carolina has a long history of split ticket voters, but that part of the electorate has truly collapsed to where it's typically less than 5% of the electorate. If we're talking about a major blowout at the gubernatorial level, does that have an impact at the top of the ticket and down the ballot, particularly in some very competitive Council of State executive statewide offices?
And this is unquantifiable, right, Professor? This is what you do for a living, but there's so much noise. How could you possibly project? Yet everyone you saw over the weekend asked you who you thought was going to win the race, right?
They did, and I would take your jump ball metaphor and make it even simpler. Coin toss. Flip a coin. Heads for Harris, tails for Trump. You're probably about as great of a predictive model as anything that we can put together at this point.
That is something. Of course, the polls, as I mentioned, show a slight lead in North Carolina, but statistically close. And when you add all the noise that you mentioned, it does make you wonder. When you see Donald Trump coming back down today, as I mentioned, he's in Greenville, North Carolina. Does the in-person presence, does showing up matter at this point?
Oh, I think it certainly does. I think it appeals to the base voters for each political party. They need to fight on the ground, and candidate visits like this really helps to mobilize and energize voters. I believe Walz will be here. I believe Harris will be returning as well. So this is really a state where the true battle for victory statewide is literally fought on the ground. We are completely inundated with campaign commercials, but that really doesn't move a whole lot of people. It's about energizing and mobilizing your base to show up.